What is going on, guys? DBG here, and this is another episode of the series where I rate your teams in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. This video is a little bit late this week compared to normal, but we're going to try and do this every single Sunday. I didn't want to miss this Sunday because I know if I miss today, I'll probably end up missing tomorrow. But either way, we are doing this. So if you guys want me to rate your team, tweet me on Twitter at DBGYT_ with your team, and then make sure you put hashtag #RateMyTEAM. Also, lads, it's best to tweet me on either Saturday evening or Sunday morning. They are the two best days. And also, lads, if you start spamming teams, there were 2 accounts that I've had to just completely mute. They sent me literally sent me the same tweet 10 times. And these guys know who they are. They have been muted on Twitter and they're just not going to be seen. So, lads, just one preferably. Because if I do see, if I do notice that somebody has sent in more than 2 on like the one day, it'll be muted and you won't be ever getting into one of these videos. So anyway, now let's get on to the first team. So the first team right here, not that good, so don't run plays. So 124k in current gen, but getting next gen soon. Byron Beck is goal range, Granger is 3-point ball handle, dunk shoot, Boogie is 4 extra hops. The anger inside me when I see somebody else getting Terry Dishinger. But Byron Beck's got goal range, he's incredible then. He's already good without goal range, he's absolutely incredible with goal range. Jameson, obviously, a really, really good card. Boogie, obviously incredible as well. Embry's really nice off the bench, although Embry's way better on current gen than he's on next gen, I'll be the first to say that. Danny Granger, Rudy Fernandez are incredible cards. JR is incredible. I don't rate Isaiah Thomas on next gen, on current gen, but he's a god on next gen. I mean, this team's like a 9 out of 10. I'm 300 games in, I don't have Terry. So, you're going to see that reaction every time I see Terry, but he's so good. He's so good, lads. He's unbelievable. So, this team right here, 9 out of 10. Fantastic. You got everything. 9 out of 10 team. Okay. This team right here. Use Ben as a facilitator for your offense. Lots of drives and kicks. He has shooting badges added plus diamond shoot. You added shooting badges to Ben Simmons. Interesting. All players badge. Kristaps is clamp. 8 in his range. Have about 300k current gen. Alright. 8 in range and Kristaps and clamps are 2 incredible cards. They are both actually incredible cards. Dan Issel is really, really nice. I don't like Dan Issel. I don't know why I don't like Dan Issel at the 4. I'm not sure. Can you badge out Bobby Jones and give him range? I need to look that up, but I'm not entirely sure you can't. If you can, then that's an insanely good card. You can't give him range. Okay. I'm kind of iffy on a non-range player at the 3, and I'm a little bit iffy on Dan Issel at the 4, but if it works for you, it works. Jameson, really, really good. Granger, Rudy Fernandez. I would 1,000,000% play Rudy Fernandez at 2 and Granger at the 3. Granger is a lot taller. Your bench line, obviously, JR, fantastic. I like your 2-point guards. What I would do, because there are guys that will be able to stop Simmons. So use one of your last 3 on the bench as like a shooting point guard, just in case you're coming up against someone that can stop Simmons. Straight up. Like, it'll happen. It can happen. And when it does happen, you don't want to be in a situation where you're like, you just can't score. So, you got 245k. Honestly, just get a Fultz or a Jared Jack. Like, don't spend more than like 10k on someone who is only just there as a situational player, just in case you happen to need him in a certain specific game. But yeah, Fultz or Jack probably, or even a CP3, whichever one of those guys you prefer. Because there's no point overspending. Yeah, you can spend like the 30-40k and put like a Stockton there, but like, what's the point in having 30-40k and tied up in a guy who's like a reserve of a reserve and is only in there if your opponent can stop Ben Simmons? But other than that, like an 8.9. Is it better than the last team? Yeah, it is. This is like, even though it has only 1 Galaxy Opal, this is still like a 9.1 out of 10. His team is, again, it's structured really, really well. The only problem is that it's just, if it happens that someone can stop Simmons, you're kind of screwed. Okay, run Hawks 2018, run your offense through Ben and Wade. Either 3 hunt with everybody except for Ben. Okay, so a similar lineup here. How does everybody have Terry? How does everybody have Terry Dishinger? Like, I'm pretty... Like, this is not going to be the last time you see him, but I was looking and everybody has the guy. I have spent every waking hour since Wednesday trying to get this guy. Over 300 games, and we haven't got him yet. But, yeah. Ben Simmons, Dwayne Wade, Terry, Antoine Jameson, and Porzingis. You've got a bunch of good players around Simmons, obviously. Again, I'm very iffy about Rudy Gobert. I'm just going to say that right now. I'm very iffy about Rudy Gobert. I think he's very, very slow at this stage in the game. And I like Wayne Embry. You're on current gen by the looks of things. And Wayne Embry is really, really good at center. Like, I would play Wayne Embry at center. And then a power forward. I think, is there anyone good at power forward? Because, like, if you could play Granger there, I would suggest him. If you sell Gobert, who can play it? Oh, just get a badged up AK. AK at the 4, Embry at the 5. Even non-badged up AK, and you've got a better team than you have right now with Gobert. Like, replacing Gobert with AK, you're definitely getting a better player. I'm not going to say to get rid of Baron Davis or JR. I love both of those guys. I really like Wade. This team, I think the Gobert is a little bit of a liability, but again, a near perfect starting lineup. And again, I would also suggest to chuck in like a Jar Jack or something at the end of your bench, just like the last guy. So this team right here, I'm gonna give it a... Let me give it a 9.1 as well. Okay, current gen. Actually, no, that's a 9.2. That's the best team we've seen so far for current gen. Hawks 118, 5 out. Goal range on Jalen. I have 100 KMT. Okay. Okay. First of all, I get it, you grinded for him, but Jared Jack is better than Ray Froston. I'm just saying that right now. Jared Jack is better than Ray Froston. I like AD. Iguodala is good. Obviously, if you have Iggy, you're a somewhat decent player. Jaylen Brown's got gold range. I try to find a way to go quick for a step on him. Or even silver quick for a step, because it is kind of an important badge with the boost. Obviously, Rudy Fernandez, a pretty good card as well. Cam Reddish, fantastic. Zion, fantastic. Embry. Like, your starting 5 is great, by the way. Your starting 5 is great. Is AD... What's AD's speed? I'm trying to think, is AD any better than Bosch? Because, like, if AD's not better than Bosch, then there's no point having the MT tied up in him. So I'm trying to get his price right here. Obviously, you've got 300k. He's got 79 speed. That's not... I don't think that's enough better than Bosch to justify it. I really don't. I don't think he's better than Chris Bosh. I get it, he's got bronze clamps. I do not think he's better than Chris Bosh. I would run Chris Bosh over to Anthony Davis. Oh, actually, sorry. I am mistaken. You have the dynamic duo with Zion Williamson, which actually boosts him up quite a bit. Apologies. You are completely correct using that duo. They are both beastly cards. Again, I like Gordon. Oh, sorry, I don't particularly like Gordon, but he's objectively good. And you also have Bosch on your bench, which is a really dumb thing. Why I was saying to get Bosch instead of AD. But, yeah, there's no purpose having Iguodala there except for a flex. So you're wasting 600k MT every 5 games. You're wasting 100 MT a game having a flex card in Iguodala in there. And I hope that you don't run him in your squad if he's not in the rotation. Because you can't... Like, it's not really that. Like, there's no point just flexing a card at the end of your bench. He's not really going to get a run out. But Jared Jack for Ray Ferguson is 1k MT and it's an upgrade. But this team, I mean, at this stage in the game, it's like an 8. But it's still pretty good. Big fan. This is your no money spent team. We're on Hawks 2018 freelance. No money spent team? Play on PC. Okay. Like, this is more than possible on PC, by the way. If you go no money spent, this is more than possible. 5 million with all these guys. Alright, so Big O, Ben Gordon, Kobe Bryant, Tracy McGrady, Terry Dishinger. So you've got unlimited MT in basically every single card. And you're level 32. Okay, so is there a better point guard than Ben Gordon? That's what it all really comes down to. Is there a better guy than Ben Gordon? And I believe Colin Sexton's better. But that's preference. That is only preference. Like, you can think Ben Gordon is better. I just love the Curry slide. But you've got Terry, you've got LeBron, you've got T-Mac, you've got Anthony Davis. You've got is this the best squad in the game? You definitely got the 2 best bigs. You've got, like, I don't like LeBron current gen, but I mean, the guy is a god on both gens. And you got Kobe, who's my number 3 2 guard in the game. Like, you're like Havlicek off having a 10 out of 10 team. Like, give me 9.8. Yeah, I'm gonna say 9.8. This is a near perfect squad. Like, you are literally Havlicek off a 10 out of 10. This team is absolutely fantastic. And considering you're sending this in, I'm pretty sure you know your team's fantastic. And come on, 2K. It's 5 million empty on every one of these cards, and you're giving him the dentist. You're giving him the dentist, and not someone with 200k on a low level who just wants to play the game and have fun. But okay, I play next gen, like the 5 out, run offense through Terry. Another! Why are everyone's getting dentist? Everyone's getting dentist. None of your players are badged up beside Kirilenko and have 100k MT budget. Okay. First of all, Gobert is nowhere near as good as Chris Bosh. Or Brook Lopez. Actually, on next gen, he's nowhere near as good as Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez is better than Chris Bosh on next gen. Wayne Embry, I like him. He's like a better version of the current day Giannis. I like Reddish. I like Rudy Fernandez. Iffy on Bosh. I'm very, very iffy on Bosh because he's not badged out. If Bosh was badged out, I'd say, yeah, great card. Like if you sell Rudy Gobert and buy Lopez, you could probably sell Bosh, and like there's no point even buying Granger. Just buy like Eddie Jones is probably cheaper than Bosh, or if not, similar enough price. So that's definitely a change I'd make. And maybe start Terry at the 3 and start Rudy Fernandez. Bring Reddish off the bench at the 3. But I like Larry Bird, I like Big O, I like Fultz, I like the rest of your players. This is, at this stage, it's like an 8.4. It's probably an 8 out of 10 team right now. Maybe like an 8.5 out of 10 team. I know it's an 8.5 out of 10 team right now. Could easily enough be made a 9 by just putting in a Bosh / Lopez as your backup center and just replacing Scotty with Eddie Jones. But a really, really nice team. Like to pick and pop current gen. Would like to improve your bench center because Embry doesn't do work the bench center should do. Trying to get the dentist, okay. But don't know if you get him or not because it's almost impossible. Okay, so thankfully you're not another person who has gotten the dentist, but at least you got Embry. At least you got Embry. We're over 600 games right now. Like we're at over 600 games between all my accounts, and am I at 600? No, I'm not. I'm at 560. I'm at 560. I'm getting closer to 600, and I haven't seen any of the rewards. So at least you've got Embry. Trust me, unless you want a pick and pop. If you want a pick and pop center, go get yourself Bosh because you're on current gen. If you don't want a pick and pop center and want something to like do what Embry does but better, that card does not exist. So if you want a pick and pop shooter, get Bosh. If you want a center to like play lanes and run around and play defense, Embry is literally the best, and there's no budget guy that's even close. Ben Simmons off your bench, I would always advise one of your last 3 then to be like a Jared Jack, just in case you need a shooting point guard, especially because your starting point guard is Magic. If you're playing against someone who knows how to guard shooting point guards, or guard not shooting point guards, you're gonna struggle. But like you've got Tracy McGrady. Wait a minute. Sorry. There's a really, really easy fix to this team right here. I'm talking about Embry, and it's like I'm talking about Embry needing to be tough to replace him. Just start AD at the 5, bring Kristaps to your bench 5, move LeBron to the 4, move Granger to the 3 or Paul George to the 3 as your starting lineup, and then buy Rudy Fernandez. Simple fix. And then obviously just the Jared Jack thrown at the end of your bench. This is a sweat team. Like, your heights are 6'9", 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", 7'3". This is like full on endgame 2K20 level height on a team. Like, this is just a cheese fest. So you gotta go 9.7 out of 10. Embry doesn't belong in the best team or anywhere near a team at this quality, but still a 9.7 out of 10 team. A team that I would hate to play against. Okay, so we've got a good few teams to go. We're just under halfway there. So let's have a look at this. Run Hawks 2018 and shoot a lot of threes. Kirilenko's goal range, didn't want to spend a ton of MT on AD, but picked him up only for 375k. Have 1.2 million MT, and you are on next gen. Okay, perfect. Dwayne Wade and Baron Davis, both good. Granger, fantastic. Bird, fantastic, especially next gen. AD, a game changer on next gen. Boogie, a game changer on next gen. Okay. I assume if you've got Reddish and PG, do you actually like Paul George because they're clones? Jimmy Butler is a really good card. Again, next gen he's probably better than current gen. Is there anyone that I would put into the squad? You've got a million MT. I mean, no. No, straight up no. Like, there's no card that's enough better than any of these cards that I'll say. You need to get, like, I wouldn't give this a 10 out of 10 team, but like with Bajay and AK, like, it's hard to argue that there's any objectively better players than anyone on your team in any position. Like you might argue T-Mac over Cam Reddish, but I'm not that sure about that. I'm not that sure depending on what you need. But there's no point spending your 700k T-Mac. You do you. Keep your team. The only player that right now that I would spend that like 300 plus K on right now in all of my team is the one dude that's on your team, and it's Anthony Davis. Like, he is you can gladly pay that. Although I'm very, very iffy on Dwayne Wade on next gen, I will say that. So, but there's not. So maybe Big O, maybe Oscar Robertson's better than Baron Davis, by the way. Oscar Robertson's definitely better than Baron Davis, just a heads up. So if you're willing to spend like this, like 60-70k, just wait until the market crashes again on Thursday. And an Oscar Robertson may not be the badge worth shout, but yeah, this is like a 9.5 out of 10. It's a really good team. Okay. From Hawks 2018, Jason Richardson a goal. Clamps, Fire are your favorite card. Reminiscent of his amazing Ruby card. Oh, 2K17 was when he had it. Was that when he had his Ruby? I cannot remember. Dentist as Interceptor. Minute was 1K. So he's there for Yao Cheesers? I have never played a Yao Cheeser. Like, maybe a Ralph Sampson Cheeser, but I have literally never played Yao. I've played more Bobans in Unlimited than Yao. Okay, so you got Sexton and Baron Davis. You got two Curry sliding shooters. You got a Curry sliding Terry and a Rudy Fernandez off the bench. You got a Thurl. I was about to say, if you're on next gen, you got a Curry sliding Thurl. You don't on current gen. Okay, this kind of gets a bit bad when you go into the power forwards. Actually, you know what? You don't have any MT, so. And you're on current gen. I don't know if you can get any better than this. Like, for the price. Like, I like Thurl. I wouldn't waste Thurl a small forward. I would probably bring Thurl onto your bench lineup and run him at power forward with Sean Kemp at center, and then you just need a 4K MT small forward. I mean, you seem to like Curry slides, so Ronnie Brewer mightn't be a bad shout. Using the Ruby Ronnie Brewer card there, or if you can find a way to get used to Aaron Aflalo's release, Aaron Aflalo works perfectly. But like, I mean, Ronnie Brewer is not bad. He's got all the same animations as Terry. So running basically Terry and worse Terry isn't too bad, and especially because Thurl doesn't have range anyway, you're not losing that. So yeah, that's what I would do. Like, this team right here, like at this stage in the game, it's like a 7.9 out of 10. It's probably the weakest team we've seen, although it's not a bad team. I would replace Xavier McDaniel with Ruby, or maybe Ruby, and then try Evo him up, Ronnie Brewer, or if you can get Amethyst Ronnie Brewer and put him at the 3, and then bring Thurl as your bench power forward, or bring Aaron Gordon off the bench to start Thurl. Either or, I think both of them are very, very similar. But yeah, this team's, it's not bad, especially because you got two dudes that you can run through in Sexton and Baron Davis. Oh my god. Oh god, no. Oh god, no. Oh my god, this can't. I'm seeing things. And I don't know what's worse, lads. I don't know what's worse. The fact that there's 5 Ben Wallace cards in the squad, the fact that for some reason there's a blur on the number 9, or the fact that this guy did such a bad job photoshopping that the cards are not in line with the boxes that the cards are meant to be in. And also the cards appear to be not even on the same line as each other, with this one higher than this one lower as well, and then this one going up and then this one going up. I don't know what is more scary, the fact that I've seen 5 of the worst player in the game here, or the Photoshop job. 0 out of 10. On next gen, no money spent. Run Hawks 2018 on offense, 2-3 zone on defense. Just be aware, if somebody knows how to beat that, you're kind of screwed. I will be the first to say that. If you're up against anybody who knows what they're doing and you're running a 2-3 zone, you are absolutely screwed. So, you just got Mikhail, 68 and 3. Obviously, you know what you're doing then. Playstyle consists of moving with the threes with the stick. You're one of those. You're one of those guys. You're a stick god. You're a stick god. It doesn't matter who you use. It doesn't matter. It does not matter who you use. If you are a stick god and you know what you're doing, you're unguardable. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This could be a 9 out of 10 team. This could be a 3 out of 10 team. All you need is range extender on your players and the sniper badge, which is flexible release, and you can green everything. I can guarantee you're out here greening from the halfway line with Chris Bosh now. Like, if you have not played against a stick god yet and you are on next gen, then you are you go and buy a lottery ticket because you're extremely lucky. But like, if you're a stick god, there is no info I can give you. You already know the sauce. You know more than I do, because my god, I haven't figured out how to use the stick consistently, and those stick gods I just can't beat them. Like, I cannot. Like, it's so hard for me to do it. Like, there's been occasional games where I've beaten stick gods, but I've had to sweat. I had a dude drops 50 on me with Monte Ellis, and they were all contested because he was using the stick. That stick is the most overpowered thing ever. There's no point even looking at your team because you just showed me your playstyle. Let's just bow down to the stick gods at 2K because they're unbeatable. But this team, look, if you were a button user, actually on next gen I really like this team. I'm not the biggest fan of Cliff, but apart from him, I really, really like this team. But you're a stick user, so this is a very, very similar team to what I run, to be honest. But you are a stick user, so you could be using a bunch of garbage men. You're still probably going to beat 99% of people at this game. Because if you manage to go 68 and 3 and you're also a stick god, it means you're good at it. So yeah, you're probably beating everybody watching this video. Run Hawks 2018 all game. Okay, so this is next gen, because you can see the text. Love tall point guards. Everyone else is 3 and D. Spot ups. Mikhail, go quick first step. Okay, so you know what you're doing, obviously, with Kevin Mikhail. You've got 2 big shooters, and Magic Johnson's so OP on next gen. I would still advise, it's a lot easier to run through like a tall point guard in next gen and current gen, but I would still advise a Jar Jack at the end of your bench. Thurl, oh man, 6'11 Curry sliding, Thurl, Reddish, Iguodala. I mean, I wouldn't run Iguodala. As much as it's a decent card, like, he's objectively... actually, if you don't use range, then he's pretty good. If you don't use range, he's pretty good. I can't lie. As in, if your offense doesn't evolve. If your offense doesn't evolve, your players spotting up from range. If your players are spotting up for range for, like, just even an Eddie Jones for your price, pretty good. And you can definitely afford a Rudy Fernandez as well. But, yeah, this team's fantastic. This team is fantastic. This is like a 9.2 out of 10, especially on next gen. On next gen is different. Like a Thurl might be a liability on current gen. Thurl is not a liability on next gen. And then like a Simmons is borderline unstoppable on next gen. Ridiculous card. If you've ever faced someone that knows they're doing with Ben Simmons, a ridiculous, ridiculous card in this game. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, so we're on to our last 3 teams right here. So, no money spent current gen. Stockton, D-Well, Boogie badged out. Run 21 delay. Have about 300k. Working on getting Dentist to replace Pistol Pete. Also getting Westbrook and maybe Leonard, depending on how good the Dentist is. I mean, like, if you can get Kawhi, he's a beast. Kawhi is just like he's going to just be a better Dentist. I'm telling that right now. I'm telling you that right now. I can guarantee you they give him half range at this stage. John Stockton, Darren Williams, Cam Reddish, Antoine Jameson, and DeMarcus Cousins. All really good cards. I don't understand what Pistol Pete's doing there. I really don't. Like, or Ja Morant. Like, get Jared Jack. Like the same first 2 letters, but man, Jared Jack a million times better than Ja. Or Fultz, if you prefer Fultz. Or Oscar Robertson, because you have 300k. If you somehow manage to get Terry, congratulations, you've got yourself one of the best cards in the game. Byron Beck, does he have range? Hopefully he has range. But I like the rest of your team. I can't give it more than like an 8 point. I can't actually give this more than a 7.5 out of 10 because of how bad Ja Morant and Pete Maravich are. Like, I cannot give a squad with the two of those guys more than 7.5 out of 10. But you fixed those guys, you've got a pretty decent team. If you can't get yourself a Terry, get yourself an Eddie Jones or a Rudy Fernandez, and instead of Ja, just throw in either like Fultz, CP3, Jared Jack, or if you want to spend a little more MT, Oscar Robertson. No money spent, soul cards for cheap before packs, and run Deep Passion 3 home with Rudy. I've not heard the word Deep Passion in quite a while. Gold Showtime, Antoine Gold Ranger. Rose Tacti downgrade to a Falalo 150k MT on track for Russ. You can green with Nance. I mean, I get it, you can green with Nance. Still not a fan of the guard, can't lie. There is absolutely no point having Jeremy Grant there. Like, there's a point, there's a purpose to Kemp. There's absolutely no point in having Tony Roten and Jeremy Grant on the end of your bench. Like, there's absolutely no point having both of those guys there. Although I will say Kemp does serve a purpose because he's a lot more mobile than the other two centers. But a Flalo as a tactical downgrade is perfect if you know his release. Range is fantastic. Rudy's fantastic. Range, Rose is fantastic. Fultz is fantastic. You got 100k, so I mean, I'm not going to say to replace Nance, but I'm still not the biggest fan of the card. I wouldn't replace him right now anyway, because there's not that many great cards you can get to replace him, unless you want to spend extra MT on AK. But I think it's best to just sit on the 100k. But I would definitely advise just kind of sitting it out and waiting until a really, really good power forward comes out for around 15k, because it's a matter of when, not if. Honestly, like, we're getting out here getting Jared Jack a point guard. It's only a matter of time until we get a Ruby type or a Ruby card that's of that level at power forward or center. So we're now on to the last team of the video. Don't have a specific play style, looking for corner threes and fast break points, open to suggestions. Okay, first of all, the biggest suggestion that I can give you is figure out a play style. So try a bunch of different things. The best YouTube channel to look for in terms of tips and for a play style is RCA the Great. It is the best place to go because it's where I kind of go to learn some new things about the game. If you want to learn the competitive, like the way people play this game at a competitive level, try to find out that play style. Go watch Ty Debo or go into his streams. You want to learn to 3-hunt. I don't even know who 3-hunts well right now because Splash doesn't really stream much anymore. But yeah, so first of all, I love De'Aaron Fox. He does not belong on this team anymore. He was so good. I like Luka though, so I'm not going to say get rid of Luka. Just make sure you have clamps on him. AD obviously fantastic. PG fantastic. Jimmy Butler great. Granger great. The rest of your team is great. It's just De'Aaron Fox is a little bit of a liability. Oscar Robertson is that dude. Or if you happen to be on the Opal board, save up some tokens for Gary Payton, but Oscar Robertson in my opinion is good, if not better than Payton. And he is someone that's around the 80k. It'll still keep you around 800k, and it's a big upgrade. But I'm gonna say like an 8 point. I'm gonna say no. This is like, you got AD. This is like a 9.4 out of 10. This is a really, really good team. I don't know why I'm saying 8. This is like a 9.4. So anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it. A lot of really, really good squads in this video. That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.